Hey guys, and welcome to World Conservation Summits. My name is Tanya Anderson, and I am your host at this amazing summit. And today I'm so pleased, and it's a big blessing to have two amazing volunteers as an amazing organization. They are just next to me, and their name is Dillon and Eline. Is that correct, my friend? And welcome.
Thank
Thank
you
you very
very
much.
much.
Amazing. So we will talk about volunteer at Nakose. And we just talked about before this intro call was like interview was like, how do we say the organization name? Because they have like the how do we call like the language of the name? It's like Bushan or something like that.
From the San Bushman community in Namibia.
Mhm.
And we are probably as far off on the pronunciation as you are, and bound to make a huge fool of ourselves if we try it. So if we cut out and do the very English version, we can say Nankuse, and then we leave people to Googling the real deal.
Oh my God, I love that. I love that. Mary's, do I say her name correctly? Mary's?
Marlies.
Marlies was teaching me last time, just like, oh my God, my voice just like jumped. So what, before they're sharing about who they are and the volunteers life at this amazing organization, so what is this amazing name? This is Nakose Amelis Van Nulk. How do you say her last name?
Marlies van Vuren.
Perfect. You are so good to practice her name. So she is a co-founder and executive, oh my God, director as Nakose Foundation. So I will read a little bit of information about this organization to you guys, you know, about who is this. So Nakose is committed to really make Namibia. How do you say the word on the place down there now?
Namibia?
Yeah,
Namibia.
wildlife
Yeah.
landscape culture really be extraordinary, so that really people get to the awareness about what is wildlife and what is, how can we work with wildlife, how can we really get, like, as I love to say, like, how can we partner up with wildlife so that we have wildlife as our part of our lifestyles. And they are doing a huge job around schools down there. They also have a place around schools, wildlife, as also rehabilitations for animals where they're coming in, they're setting free again, they are going out to a major project they are creating for a few, I think 1 year ago, or like a few months, was picking up plastics from the oceans where they're going out there, pick huge tons of plastic up. So they really make a huge difference on different kind of projects down there. So the overall purpose of the foundation is to help conserve the landscape of Namibia. That word is so challenging me to say. Can you please say that?
Yep.
Namibia?
Namibia.
Namibia. Yeah.
Namibia. Okay. To protect the wildlife and to promote the lives of the people it works with through stability improvements and active down there. So guys, share about who are you, a little bit about who you are, and why did you choose as being volunteer at Nakose, the foundation?
Yeah, sure. You want to go first?
Sure. Yeah. Hi, I'm Eline, and I work in wildlife conservation. And both Dylan and we first went to Nankuse in 2015. So like I decided to go there because I was younger at the time. Namibia was kind of for my parents, it was a very big relief to know that Namibia was a really safe country to travel to. And I've always been obsessed with animals and wildlife, and I just really wanted to go and experience this firsthand.
What
Yeah.
about you, Dylan?
Yeah, I mean, most of the same reasons. By the way, I don't know if we said that, but husband and wife.
Yeah.
So we should have something in common, I guess you could say. But I went to Nankuse also in 2015 with the idea that I wanted to go and explore wild places in Africa. That was the main thing. And so I took to the internet to find organizations that I felt I could put my trust in, and came away with a 3-month stay at Nankuse in Namibia, of which has changed both of our lives in many ways, but certainly given us the most memorable experiences you could have ever asked for. And in my I was going to say real life, so outside of volunteering, I in my real job I work in sustainable development, and especially around food system transitions.
Amazing. I love your story you share about like the intro call we have together was you find each other at Nakose. So you have no, like you did not know who you was in the beginning, like you're turning out as volunteer. That story is so beautiful, like what volunteer life can really bring to your life and what of memory experience you really can receive from it. So share a little bit about like that story around like you guys find each other at Nakose as volunteers.
Nice. Yeah, we both went to Nankuse like individually in 2015 because Dillon is Canadian and I'm Dutch. But we both were there at the same time. And yeah, ever since we've been together. But we also we got engaged at Nankuse. We went for our honeymoon back to Nankuse. So we've really like bound our lives to Nankuse by now.
Nankuse is intertwined in the whole thing. And while you cannot promise marriage for people going and visiting there, I think what you can certainly say is that when you go to a place like that, you've made a lot of the same commitments and dedications to a certain subject. And so you immediately do, whether romantic or otherwise, you meet a lot of people that have a very similar, way of looking at the world, certainly similar interests. And that is bound to create long and strong relationships, whether friends or otherwise. So that's what we were grateful to benefit from.
Beautiful. And why to you both to you? Why did you choose Nakuse? Like in the beginning, the first time you turned down there because you've been down there a few times. So why did you pick this amazing organization to be a volunteer at?
The first.
I think kind of two things on the sort of fun and interest side of things. I loved the idea that you could go to an organization and you could participate in activities that were very close to conservation work, real conservation work, landscapes, protected areas, and things like that. That was really interesting to me. But then on the other hand, there was also a social component. So you mentioned in your intro, the school, the hospital, that was incredibly interesting to me at the time. And then also in the sort of triangle, you have this very compassion-led sanctuary experience that you could go and contribute to helping animals that are in their most vulnerable state, right? Re-enter the wild. And so to me, it was the idea that variation was there, was what had me kind of initially interested. And then when they broadcasted so much about releasing animals that came into their care, and we've seen that over the years that we've been there, that they are really motivated in any way possible to get animals where they belong. That gave me the moral good feeling to make the decision to go there.
Yeah, for me it was very similar, but indeed also this research-based aspect of it, and the fact that they do a lot also for local communities, also how to live with wildlife. Like they have these rapid response teams that if there is an animal in the area that maybe a farmer is unsure if, for example, this leopard is predating on their livestock, they go out and collar this leopard, and they really help to mitigate these conflicts while trying to keep the animals in the wild.
Yeah.
And that was,
I love that. I love the project there. I've seen the video again and again. I don't know how many times I've seen it. The video on the YouTube channels with the rhinos where they are releasing the rhinos is like, it is a powerful video. It's just like so motivated to like, we are going forward. And also to really like, in the video, they're really giving also like everything is possible when you work together and defining solutions, and why it's so critical to have a team with like-minded people as you guys coming down there, because it is critical for organizations as Nakuse to have, as they have amazing volunteers that come down there each year, because you know the work, you know you're passionate about it, you're coming down there to really take your hands in it and do the work instead of having vacations. And that's why I was really asking you guys to come on, because it is really critical to what like what volunteer life can give us. So what area did you work in the center? Because the foundation have like many areas to be volunteer at. So what was one of the areas you have been or over the years?
So for the both of us, we've spent most of our time in the location of the sanctuary, but there you kind of combine the activities concerning like the care of the animals that are currently in need, but you combine it with research activities. So you also go out in the reserve and you conduct research there, like you look at camera traps, you are able to see the anti-poaching unit that do daily patrols of the reserve to protect all the animals there.
Yeah, and even participate.
Yeah, you can even participate.
At the anti-poaching unit. So at that central location, you do really have a mix of a lot of everything. And of course, by now, we've been there many times. It's also where you develop friendships with the people that are working for the organization. And so we end up normally staying mostly in there, but we've also toured some of the others.
Oh, amazing. So what is the 3 things that had really, of course, you're finding each other, so that is one thing you have really received from to be a volunteer that have really make a huge impact in your life. What is the 3 things that really have impact your life as a volunteer?
You can go first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think maybe one of the things, so I don't have to go completely into the details, but I work in sustainable development, and we have a lot of very negative imagery and storytelling around the sustainability world. We know we're in a lot of trouble when it comes to the environment and also the way we treat people around the world. And to go to Nankuse is to see something hopeful and positive in the name of all of those things, in the name of the environment, but also in the name of socioeconomic development of people in marginalized communities. And so it's very impactful to see that when the right people show up to the test, that good and positive things can really happen, and not just happen on small scales, happen at really big scale. We come from the Netherlands, so some of Nankuse's projects are nearly provinces in the Netherlands, right? So it's this large scale positive impact that is that I think is very much giving you an optimistic feeling if you are surrounded by less optimistic
Yeah, for sure.
feelings. Yeah.
For
Amazing.
sure. Yeah. And yeah, I think other than that as well, just when you are able to witness these animals like going back to the wild and like to live the life they're supposed to live, that's really beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah. And actually, I should say you asked for 3, so you will get it. That's 1, 2, but with regards to the animals, you're not just showing up and sort of passively either taking care of or participating in research activities. Nankuse, when you're there, they do, I think, take it very seriously that you learn about what is going on. And so whether it's wildlife behavior or whether it is their research activities or whether or not it's, animal care, you really are engaged in learning. So now, I do expect we will be lifelong travelers of certainly the African continent. And then you carry with all of this knowledge about, that is the way that, for instance, an elephant's family structure works, and that is why they might be doing that, or that is why that track looks like this, and all of those kinds of things. Also, things that you bring with you, those things that you've learned along the way.
So good, so good. So sharing a little bit about like volunteer at Nankuse, like how does one day look like when you go to work at Nankuse? Like what time are you meeting? What time are you off? Share a little bit about like volunteer life so people get to know like what is it to be volunteer exactly at this organization.
Yeah, so of course your activities, the things you're doing during the day, it depends on which project you're at. But usually like at the sanctuary, you start your day with you first have breakfast all together at the Lapa, which is the common area. And after that, you'll have the morning meeting at 8 a.m. And then we get a briefing on who is doing what that day, and everybody or new people also learn what group they're in, like which group they're joining for the activities. And then you start your morning activity, and that would last until 1, if I'm correct.
Yep.
So these activities, like basically, usually they have a roster of different activities, and you stay in the same group throughout the week, and you rotate through the activities. That is to ensure that you get to experience all the beautiful things there are to experience.
And that you have a bond with people.
Yeah.
A lot
And
of people are arriving by themselves.
Yeah.
And so it's quite nice that you get put into at least a small group where you can kind of get a bit more familiar with certain people over the course of your stay.
For sure. For sure. So then usually it kind of combines like a more hardworking activity with a more fun activity. So usually, like, for example, you might prepare all the food for all the animals and cut the veggies and the fruits and the meats in the morning. And then in the afternoon, you might go and actually like feed the animals what you have prepared. So it really depends on the day, but you basically rotate through all these very different activities, and they do it in a way so that everybody basically gets a chance to experience all the different sides of what there is to do.
Yeah, and then it's not all per se hard work. On the weekends you can relax. There's always a barbecue which everybody participates in with some music and socializing, and then you have a big team activity every Saturday, which could be anything that the creative staff have thought of. And then on Sundays you can take it down and really relax.
Yeah, you can also then decide to attend the church service that is every Sunday. So you can sign up and go do that, or you can go into Windhoek, into the capital, or you can go to the lodge for a nice lunch. Like there's a lot of different things to do.
Yeah.
What is the most important thing people get to know about to be a volunteer at Nakose?
To be a volunteer at Nakose is probably the best things that happen in your trip are the things that you can't read about, because there's so many spontaneous moments that happen in a place like that, exactly as Eline described before, suddenly there is a conflict call and you're able to go and attend that with the staff, or you're able to do XYZ. So that is one thing. And then I think also probably inclusion of different, like how accessible it is for different groups.
Yeah, so you don't need to have a certain background or certain education or
physical, really.
Like everybody can join. You don't have to come in a group. You can come by yourself, but you can also come in a group. Like it's really open to everybody and everyone.
I think we've seen people there that had turned 18 not shortly before, and we've seen people well into their 70s and all enjoying the experience. So something for everyone.
Amazing. When a person chooses to come to this organization, Nakose Foundations, what time frame would you would you say it is important to people to be in, like 40 days, 1 month? Like, when is like good time frame for people to really get into the work and learn about it and really create a bigger impact in their own life?
So like it depends on whether you want to see the different projects as well, of course. But I think basically to see everything that's like the sanctuary has to offer, they usually advise you to be there for 2 weeks. And then all the projects usually go for 1 week.
So we've seen a lot of people have gone for 3 weeks and been really happy with that, because you can still have, also Namibia is such a beautiful country that there is certainly something very valuable about being able to go to see those different projects, because of course you drive and you get to see everything in between what that beautiful landscape has to offer. So I think somewhere there, like between 2 and 4 weeks.
But we, for example, we go for 3 months and we're not done with anything. So it's really not a max.
That's true.
So you guys are down there 3 months at a time, or?
Whenever we can, but holiday days are sometimes limited. But whenever we could, we would go.
Amazing. So what is your message to both of you? What is both of your message to people to choose to volunteer, like to new people that have not yet volunteered, or also to people, because as you guys have here, like out there is bad places as to be volunteer, and when a person experience a bad organization, they have fear or limitation to choose to volunteer again, and they want to volunteer. So what is your message to the people that is new, and what is your message to the people that have experienced bad organizations for them to choose a good one?
Yeah. So I think for the people that are new, of course, you can see a country that has so much wildlife as a tourist, but if you go there to volunteer, you do really get a very different experience, and you kind of get you can do things that you couldn't do as a tourist. So you get to experience it in a whole different way, and you can even combine it with afterwards going on a tour through the country still. But it really does offer a different perspective in what the wildlife is like, and you learn about the behaviors, what is being done to protect the wildlife.
Yeah.
And for people who have had bad experiences, yeah, it's always very difficult, of course, because all organizations, it's hard to see from a website if an organization really is doing what it says to be doing. But Nankuse is really a great experience and great organization.
Yeah.
And they really have their heart in it, and they really do a lot of good.
And we could say it like this: you work in wildlife conservation, so more on the pure wildlife conservation side, and I work in sustainable development, more on the people side. We certainly would not have gone back to that place for 4 and hopefully soon 5 times for many months of our lives if we felt that it was dodgy. And so if that's any kind of seal of approval, I hope that it is somehow valuable. But yeah, that is something to keep in mind.
That is a good point. Yeah, because why do you choose to go back to organization if you have a bad experience?
Exactly.
Yeah, amazing. So the last, like, what is the one thing you would like to the audience to go with? Like, what kind of action would you like to invite people to do or take with them? Like, what is the message you want the audience to take with them? So what is the actions and the message you will leave the audience that is watching this live with us?
I think the actions, go and volunteer.
Yeah.
I mean,
Go for it.
Just do it. It's like we said, we've seen so many shapes and sizes and types of people that arrived there, and even somewhere you thought, how much are they going to like this? And then they just love it, and that is kind of irrespective of background and circumstance. So I would say, as a first thing, go and volunteer. You go to Namibia. I mean, we are certainly biased, but one of the most beautiful countries in the world. You can experience that, and you can do it certainly from Europe at quite an easy and accessible travel to go to Namibia by now.
Yeah. And also, if you are feeling nervous about traveling, you get picked up at the airport.
Yeah.
It's a really safe country. It's very manageable, and like when you book your trip, they are in touch with you about what to expect. They give you a packing list. Like, it really is very accessible for everyone.
Yeah, all very supportive.
Yeah.
Oh, I like that. I like that. You will like the audience, like I say, is doing amazing job. Like, they really like giving you all the information you need. If you have a question, you can always like send them to ask. They are there. They are fast to answer. It's very interesting, I see, because I have a connection with so many organizations, and they are to the point. Like, they answer you very fast. They are there to serve you, and there's no stupid question. You can ask them about everything.
Yep.
They give you a packing list, and also to shape your volunteer stay. If you like want to experience different things with the audience, you can ask, like, can I do this thing? And they will shape like the trip for you, what is like a good fit, and how you like go for the one product to the other products. And as I see, they have like so many different kind of projects to be volunteered on there. So there is really 2 different kind of taste of people, what people want to experience of life and down there in Africa.
Definitely. And with regards to catering the trip around your interests, you can do it in advance, but also they are so flexible when you have arrived. If you arrived and you realized that you hadn't done as much research as you wanted to, and you suddenly realize you want to visit this project in the deep south, for instance, Canaan, then they will do their absolute best to make it work and get you on a shuttle to go down there with the team. So that's something that you can also do a little bit on the spot.
Amazing, amazing. So to the audience, where do you find this organization, Conserve Foundation, is going to the www.naankuse.com. Did I spell correctly on English, guys?
Yes, you did.
Okay. So let me say that again. It's www.naankuse.com. There you find all the social media links on them, also the email where you can connect with them, read about all the projects. So go to the webpage, click on the different kind of social media, so you follow them, sign up to the newsletter, so that you get information and get educated by your newsletter of one of the world leading organizations that is making a huge difference in this world, and that is really meeting you where you are. There is one of the things I love about Maryse is she's really meeting where you are. She's not judging. She is like so loving, and she's there to empower you to be your best you. So that is something I really love about her.
Definitely.
Yeah, she's an amazing person. So thank you so much, Dillon and Eline. It was amazing to have you here on World Conservation Summits, and thank you so much for being a volunteer that is really showing what does it mean to be volunteer, what does it mean to have the heart, the right place as volunteer, that serve and stand by the organization. So it is so important, and so thank you so much for being that, guys, and that stand in this world.
Great. Thank you very much for having us.
You're so welcome. Bye, everyone. Have the most amazing day. Go to the webpage and click on the different social media, and see you soon again. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Oh! What do you think, guys? How do you feel about it?
All good.
Yeah, it was
All
good.
good. Thank you so much for your time. Yeah. Very good.
Amazing. Amazing. So if you need something, please let me know, and you can always get connected with me on the social media, like on the email. If you need something, I will send you the recording. I can send that in the weekend, and also send it to Maryse, so she also have that.
Awesome. Great.
That's good. Thank you so much for your time.
Likewise. Have an amazing day, guys.
Yes.
All right, you too.
Enjoy your evening.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.